Hello, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Excuse me, going really close to the camera. Just get rid of my mouth so it doesn't get in the way. I'm going closer again so I could do a better view of you beautiful people that I can't see. So, welcome to the episode 4. Thank you. Episode 4 of the Ryan's nodding. Sorry, it is episode 4, so that's fine. Of the podcast. It's been an interesting 24 hours. Let's put it that way. So we've got quite a lot to go through. We're going to try not to do as long as what we've done before, but we want to try and get as much through. So basically the running of what we're going to be discussing today is the player of the season. We're going to talk a little bit about the game because I've wrote my notes down that we're going to be doing from now on. We're going to talk about Bowen's comments about the game, about Bowen himself. Swift and Ejaria will be on the topic. We will discuss what we think about the transfer window, only a little detail because we're going to do a specific episode coming out next week discussing transfers. And we've got we're going to make a little game out of that. We're going to make it as much fun as we can for you guys at home as well. Listen to where you're listening. We're going to discuss the transfer window, and then we're going to, what we need for next season. We're then also going to be talking about the final day of yesterday of the championship season, about the promotions and the relegations, just have a little chat about that. We're also going to have a little chat about the playoffs, about Brentford Swansea versus Brentford versus Swansea, or Fulham versus Cardiff, who we think will go through, and we're going to have a little competition between me and Ryan. We also need to go through the team selection as well. We'll do that at the beginning as well, of who we thought would start and who actually started, and we'll discuss who won that. I'm not happy with how this game's going so far already. Well, there is a new signing for this podcast who will be joining in with us very, very shortly. And we're going to tease a little bit. We're not going to tell you who it is. We're not going to let on anything about this person. We're just going to tell you what the person's role will be and what we're going to look out for. And then we're going to discuss what we're going to be doing little bits over the next few weeks leading up to the season. And do a little bit of pushcasted this morning when he just straight to Romania. Fair play to him to going home after the team. So,
I thought that was a pretty normal thing to do.
Yeah, I think so as well. He wants to go home. He's been here all the time.
Yeah,
go home. Who cares? He was.
It's not like as soon as the game's finished, he's gone and jumped on a plane.
He had a sleep.
Day after.
He had a sleep. He needed a sleep. He's gone. So, first one, new room for me, as you can see. Best title WWE have ever done, so no arguments. So, player of the season was announced by Reading as Rafael, and I think it was also announced that Swift was second. Morrison was third, I think.
I know Swift got vice president's player of the season.
Yeah, so that's good. So at least he's actually getting involved. Or we actually hear from the president.
Vice president.
Whoever
Vice president.
There we go with. So before we get into the Swansea game, what I want to do is I want to run through the little game that we played. Me and Ryan have come up with, I sent it to him today, so hopefully you've seen it, the point system to the game. So you get 3 points every correct member into the team, and you get a -1 for every wrong player that's in the team. So, Ryan, you went with Rafael, Osso, Morrison, Moore, McIntyre, McIntyre. We didn't know about the injury. Richards, Swift, Reno, Mite, Elise, Timbe, Bulldog. I went with Rafael, Gunter, Morrison, Moore, or McIntyre, Obita, Reno, Swift, Elise, Boy, Bulldog, Timbe. Let's put it this way. I lost quite badly just because of my front three. So, you got right. So let's discuss the team, shall we? So I want to go through the team selection of what actually happened, and while you discuss, I'm going to do some maths, Ryan. So because I didn't do that before, because I'm so intelligent. Don't need that. So the team was a bit of a weird one, I think. What the team news from yesterday, the team looked very out of balance. They looked like they didn't really know what was going on, or where to play, or where to go, or who to be, or what. So let me just quickly go. So when I saw the lineup, I saw Rafael was in goal, which made me very, very happy. Which then was good. And then the team come out. And then I look down the team. Yeah. So Rafael, Gunter, Morrison, Maziga, Moore, Rinato. I'm going to call him Reno. I'm not even going to. Andy, Swift, Elise, Will, Richards, and Puskas. And on the bench was Walker, Jordan Abita, Gareth McCleary, Lucas Boy, Felipe Arroyo, Tyler Blackett, Maziga, Timbe, Adam, and also, if I don't know their name, I'm just going to give them a nickname. Be prepared.
That's what I always do with Timby.
Exactly. So
I see his name and think Timby.
Who are you? Why have you got a weird name? Right. So Ryan, what did you think about the team? Why I do this?
At first, I looked through the team, and my first response. So I was sat next to my brother on the sofa. I looked at the team, and I just went, "We're playing 5 at the back." Completely forgetting that Moore has been playing as a defensive midfielder recently. But it just looked a bit too defensive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at it on my screen in front of me now, but there looked like a serious lack of goals, and like we were playing for a 0-0 draw. It kind of showed. First 10 minutes, if I'd have turned it off after 10 minutes, I would have been very happy. Mm-hmm. I thought we played well. I will say, I know it's a bit of a controversial one, but in my opinion, Rafael should have done a bit better for the first goal.
It's not controversial. That is the truth.
I know a couple of people have said it's a great strike from Brewster. Don't take anything away from him. It is a good goal, but it's in the middle of the net. It's gone between his hands. Again, we didn't really look too out of it in the first half, I think. When Mayte got sent off, it is what it is. He's lifted his hands, and like Bowen said in the interview, he's given him an excuse to go down, so he's going to.
I think I said this on Twitter last night. If you put your hands anywhere near someone's face, and I'm going to rant now, so be prepared for my rant. Right? I saw a certain Twitter page, who I will not name due to maybe copyright reasons and for me not to get a lawsuit, who thinks he's all big balls over Twitter, of a very popular podcaster in the Reading industry who goes with and he tweeted out a thing saying it was never a red card. Why has it been sent off? Because everyone disagreed with him, he decided to untrack that and say it was only a joke. No, it wasn't, mate. Just take I'm looking right in the camera now. I'm going to look right in the camera, right at you. I know you're not going to watch because you're a little pansy and you think you're all big balls on Twitter. But the thing that you got to realise is when people disagree with you, it's not because you're always right and you always want those likes. It's because you're talking shit. Simple. When you talk sensible, we might listen to you. But until you get your head out of your own arse, we're not going to. Anyway, so the first game of the season, or the first point game of the season, Ryan won by a point. He got 18 points, correct? I got 17. So you win 1-0. We're going to use that as a tester. A beta test, only because I lost. A beta test for the start of next season, where we're going to do it all the way through the season, and we're going to do it properly. But we can see it worked, and it is quite a fun game as well because he beat me by a point. Also, we're also going to do a game. So basically, the other game we're going to do is do the correct score. So I'm going to win this, because I was 1 goal off. I was 1 goal off me winning. So I won. Whoever gets the closest is the winner. So you went 2-1 Swansea, but you also said Brewster would score first. So you get a bit of a point in your section. You're not going to get any points, but you get the old pat on the back. So well done. I went 3-1 Swansea. We both thought, thank you. I was very close.
I was clapping for myself.
Oh, I was capping for
Saying Brewster would score.
Yeah, do you know what? I think we all knew Brewster was going to score, but I didn't think he would score first. But I knew he would score. Right, then we'll do that. So let's discuss the Swansea game. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to talk like I normally do. I'm going to talk through what I saw, and then I'll stop in between and get feedback from Ryan and what he thinks and what we're doing. So you were right what you said. I've come closer to get more comfortable. You were right. Oh, voice change. Did you hear that? So you were right. When I first saw that, I didn't think 3 at the back. I thought 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I didn't mean that. I meant 4. Oh,
okay.
I thought it'd be 4 at the back and Moore will play as a CDM, but he didn't. He went straight into playing 3 at the back, which from minute dot, as soon as I saw it,
it's uninspiring.
It was not a good idea. And then I want to have a rant, right?
Sorry, when we tried 3 at the back under Gomez, it didn't work. And all the players come out and said they didn't really like playing it 3 at the back. It didn't work. It still doesn't work.
It does work if you have the right players and the right abilities. We haven't got the right players or the right abilities for the team. And that's the issue we've got, is we've got dumbasses playing for this club. I don't care what I say. You can click this, do whatever you want with it. I'm very honest and very vocal. And I want to, and when we go on as well, I want to moan about Tim Della, right? How that bloke has a job in media, I do not know. He went on a rant for about 10 minutes in the first half, talking about how Gunter, Baldock and McCleary should not have been dropped. Get over it, you overpaid, useless twonk. Gunter
wasn't even dropped.
They were dropped. No. When he was talking about right at the start of the season, when Gomez decided to leave them out, right? They were dropped, and Gomez said in the interview they were dropped because of their wages. They wanted to match. They needed to go, right? Stop sticking your head up Gunter's ass and playing with his tonsils because you think it's nice and fun to do. It's not. It's stupid. Fucking stupid. So he really annoyed me, and he went on and on about it. I swear he voted for UKIP as well. Anyway, so for me, when I was watching the game, I thought the first 5 minutes, I think Swansea looked very dangerous moving forward. Brewster looked like him and Andre Ayew looked like they were the main points of their attack, and it definitely proved correct with the goal. We looked like no creative going forward. Ulissi, we thought it would be a good idea to do what Reading does when we try and play against a bigger team, and that's do the long-ass balls to absolutely nobody. While Ryan jumps up and down, looks like he's not doing something wrong on Pornhub. I thought it looked absolutely terrible. We were just pumping it along to Mite and Puskas and just making them look like it was all their fault, and you can't do that. Absolutely shocking. 15 minutes, it was evens, it went well, and then Brewster then decided to do an absolute thunder bastard of a goal.
Mediocre.
Yes. Well, yes and no. I think if you watch the clip from where Brewster was and the ball was going towards the goal, Rafael had it. He's had his hand going the correct way. It was moving, and then he just didn't. His reaction time was just not quick enough to move with the ball. So he was at fault at that. I'll put here as well. Again, we carried on doing the long passing. I think Ulissi was a standout in the first half. I think
you just said it.
Did I just say it?
Yeah.
Elise. I did say Ulissi.
Yeah.
It's because I write it down wrong. Okay. All right, Will. I'll let you off. Elise, I thought was a standout player. I thought in the first half, I thought he was the only one who looked creative. And then Mite then decided that he wanted to play real boxing 3 with Swansea defenders face.
I wouldn't say it was boxing. I would say friendly playground game of slaps or something.
Yeah. And it didn't end well. And he got sent off because he's an idiot. Which now means he'll be suspended for the first 3 games of the season. Dumbass. But then I also thought as well the run that Reno did into the box to win the pen was a brilliant run. I'm not sure it was a pen, but I'm not going to complain. I didn't think he got touched that much, but pen's a pen. Good pen by Puskas. Enough power on there. enough power.
In my
on there
opinion,
for
I
a
thought it
send-off.
was a clear. I thought it was a clear penalty.
It's one of those where you get them and you don't, or you don't. My voice crack is mental today. It's one of those that you get or you don't, depending on the referee. And this referee looked like he loved to blow a whistle. He loved to go blowing. And then the second half, and I put 2 lines for the second half, was poor start, shit defending. That's it. I think the 10 men proved the substitutions were too late. He never changed the formation when we were 10 men down to try and maybe counteract, get one extra person in midfield because we missed that second striker. So now we need an extra person in midfield to combat that. It was so open in our midfield. It was like playing pass the parcel and just no one actually getting the parcel around our midfield. And it is pretty bad and pretty shocking how bad we did that second half. Is there any positives from the game? No. Well, yeah. That we know the mass. I have to say this. The best bit of that second half was not that we conceded 4. McCleary's 1-on-1. Anyone else see McCleary's 1-on-1? Oh, he's such a good player. He's still got it. Oh, look, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, straight at the keeper.
Just saying, Elise done the same thing.
But he had a defender
Less than
running
2
at him.
minutes later.
But defender was running at him.
True.
So
true.
Oh, look, we're just we clap for the NHS. I'm clapping for McCleary. Fuck him, I don't want to clap. It's wasting my breath. So
let's talk about Elise's skill in the build-up to that, where he had 3 defenders on him.
We think it's Elise.
I'm sure it was.
But if you know who the correct person is, please put in the comments down below. Please let us know. Tweet us. In the description down below is all of our social media platforms. Please go and like and follow all of them if you can. We try and do daily updates on all of them. Or on a match day, we definitely want your interaction as well. So please go and follow as well. But yeah, let's talk about Elise. I think I saw a lot of people saying he's got all the hype at the moment about who he is and his ability, but there's no. The people who say that, go away. Go and shove your head up your own ass because you're talking utter rubbish. Utter rubbish. I don't want to know you. So to those people, just go away. I also did as well player ratings at the end of the game. I always do it on Twitter. My player rating for the team was a 0 out of 10 for all, apart from McCleary, who got a -1,000,000 out of 0. So I think it was utter shambles. I think it was terrible. I don't really know. I'm just looking here. I don't really know what to say, to be honest. What was it? All right. So let's talk about this. So if you had any positives from the game, what would you take?
The fact we scored. It's always a positive, especially when we're quite well known for struggling to score at times, even if it was a penalty. I thought we did look good for first 10 minutes at least. We also had a couple of good little stints in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, negatives.
78 minutes.
Well, just the whole game.
Yeah, take out the first 10. Couple of stints in the middle, and the rest was just awful. For the first goal, again, great finish from Brewster. You can't take it away from him. But why is no one going towards the ball? Why has he got 15 yards of space to drive into that area and take the shot on? Got to be quicker to close him down.
Yep.
It's just a shit performance, really.
Yeah. So I also did a tweet as well. You'll see it I'm just retweeting him now because I'm just looking through before a game as well. We always, as people who might be close, do a shout out on the pod. So Harry Sands, who is at Sarri Hands, he got closest with a 4-0 Swansea. He was very much in the same bracket as the majority of us. I've just given him a shout out tomorrow on the pod. I've just given him a shout out. Just say well done. You were closest. You were giving him a shout out as well. So yeah, I think there was negatives we can all see that every position needs to be tightened up. And this goes straight into the conversation. This nicely smooths into a bit of what Bowen said after the game and a little bit of what we think. So Bowen said after this game, according to Talk Reading, and a little bit about what Jonathan Lowe has said as well that we're going to talk about now. So it says, he put, it's going to be a complicated time, but in terms of trying to put my stamp on the squad, I'm actually looking forward to it. And that's not just getting new players in, but I promise you there will be a different mentality going next season. Interesting comments from him. Also, Sky Sports also said today that the 24 Championships Club will meet on Thursday to discuss a proposal for an £18 million salary cap that will be introduced as early as the start of next season. At the moment, Reading's wage bill in the 2018-2019 season was 41 million. It would have to be similar, or if not this season, just shows that it will go up. It would have gone up a lot more because of the signings of João, Puskas, and Moore's got a new contract. Swift got a new deal. Rafael as well will be under probably quite a good money for coming over here and doing stuff. So he will be on a lot more as well. Also talk that Bowen said as well yesterday, there will be 10 to 12 players leaving in the next. We both got our notifications on for Twitter. So just in case anything actually happens while we're talking to you, we can do a live conversation with you guys at the same time. So you can hear our views as well as what goes on. But so basically, Ryan, he's saying there's going to be a mass clear out. And not only does he want to bring some players in, there's also, he said he wants to give a chance to Tom Holmes. I want to find exactly the players he said, because I found it very interesting of what he said. I've just skipped past the bit where Birmingham have retired the number 22 after a player that's played with them just for one season. Just saying.
He said, I want to get a young, vibrant side that's full of running, full of energy, and show the fans that we can play a high-tempo game and take games to the opposition.
Yeah, and that was a very interesting comment that I found him saying yesterday. I'm trying to find it here, what he said. So, yeah, he wants so 10 to 12 players are going to be leaving. He's also going to be given a chance to Tom Holmes. Joel Hosgrove are being told that they're going to be staying around as well. He's also saying that he wants to give McNulty a chance as well. So it's a bit of a weird time, I think. I don't really know what to sort of say. I think the only thing we can do is just wait and see what happens. And I think all right. So this goes on to the question I was going to have for you. Do you think Bowen deserves a chance?
Yes.
Okay. So give me a reason why, and tell me, and then. So I agree with you. So I completely agree with you. I think Bowen deserves. He's a transfer window himself.
Yeah.
To get him to where he needs to be. The negatives are saying he's had enough. His play style, there's no philosophy. There's no steel, like what he's saying. He's promised things and hasn't delivered. He's only won one game since the restart. They're the negatives. So why do you think he should?
Because we're 7th in the league since he took over. And he's inherited the squad. It's not his squad. There's two questions in one here. Does he deserve the shot? Yes, he deserves transfer window, build his own team. However, do I think he will be the person to take us forward and even get us promoted in the long run? No. I think he's earned a shot, but I don't think he is the right person to truly kick us on. I think he could take us from that crap 17th place team that we have been, push us up to a top half team, potentially even push on for the playoffs. But I don't think he will take us any further than that.
Yeah, and I'm sort of looking through some of the interviews he said yesterday, and I agree with you as well at the same time. I think he deserves an opportunity. I understand. I'm not saying I disagree with the people that are saying he needs to go. I get what you're saying. I completely understand what you're saying. But let's not run before we can walk. We have not got the players for his play style. We have not got the financial capacity to do certain things that we need to do. And that, talking of the financial stability at the moment, one of the things that we've got at the moment is it's also being talked that we will not be able to have Ejaria next season, which I see a lot of people discussing this, and this sort of goes with the two parts that we've got here. We have a little template where we talk about it. It's not that much. Is would you sell Swift just for Ejaria, whoever we want to call it? So, all right. So, question for you: one word answer. Yes or no? Because I know that you like to ponder sometimes. So let's get this going. Right. Would you sell Swift just to buy Ejaria?
No.
Why?
So I saw a comment earlier. Can't remember who it was from, but okay. I know I always say they're the same player, but Ejaria is more of a flair player, and quite often misses that final pass. And he also tends to hold on to the ball a lot quite a long time. Quite often loses it.
Okay, so let me throw these facts at you. Okay. So these are one of the things I saw earlier. So John Swift is 25. Okay. Yep. He's 25 years old and he's been here 5 years. Over Ejaria is 22. So he's 3 years younger. He's also shown his passing can be spot on.
It can be, though.
But you could also say the same thing about Swift. Yeah, he's got 10 assists, but his free kick, he scored that wonder free kick against Blackburn, but ever since that wonder free kick, he hasn't hit the target since then. I think the problem with this team is we're trying to pick individual players and saying, would they do best of this and that, when actually, we're overall rubbish. We're overall terrible. So there's no point saying, I get what people are saying. I would sell Ejaria, Swift for Ejaria easily, any day. If someone gave me 5 million now and said, then you can have percentage in that, I'll go, okay, there you go. Liverpool, off you go. Don't transfer me 3.5 money of that. I want you to deliver that straight to Liverpool. I would happily do that.
Are we talking though? When you say that, are we selling Swift for 3.5 million? Because you just said 5.
No.
If we're saying we'll sell Swift and get, I don't know, 10 million for him and then buy Ejaria, then yes, I would. However, if it's 3.5 million, Swift goes for 3.5 million, Ejaria comes in for 3.5 million, then I would keep Swift. However, if it's 10 million, then
we won't be
Swift can go. Million. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Same kind of principle.
There's also talked as well yesterday that the owner wants to block the move like he did for Loader and more.
That was very successful.
He hasn't got a very good success rate at the minute of doing that, but I understand he's thinking he wants to build a team around Swift and wants to build a successful team. I get that. And I also think he's doing a very, very clever tactic where he goes, no, we're not. You could do what you want with him. We're not selling him. And then as soon as he said that, Leeds become very highly wanted him. And all of a sudden, Aston Villa have popped up saying that they want him. So we've got Sheffield United, Aston Villa, and Leeds, and then more clubs will more and more come in for him as well during the course because of the owner saying no, and because people go, well, I want something, no, you can't have it. It makes people go, oh, I want it more. So it'll be interesting to see. Do I think he'll be here at the start of the season? No. Do I think Ejaria will be here at the start of the season? No. I think the issue we have is too many big money players at this club who do not care. I'm not saying Ejaria doesn't care, and I'm not saying John Swift doesn't care. What I'm saying is if there's talk of a salary cap, then they definitely won't be able to get into the team because of that. So it'll be an interesting time to see what sort of happens moving forward, going from that. So let's talk about the transfer window. There's 10 players that are leaving, and that includes the loans and the contracts. Who do you think is going to stay out of all of them?
Osho.
Yeah. Because I think someone worked out that including all the contracts and loans, there's 12.
Yes.
So there's one more.
I'm drawn between two. I think it's going to be either Obita or Adam. And I do think there is a possibility that Ejaria will come back.
Oh yeah,
not very likely, but I think that will be a case of he is one of them 10 that that will possibly be leaving, and then he will come back at a later date. He's not one that they're saying, 10 to 12. I don't think he's one of the two that might stay, but he's one that might come back.
I saw an interesting comment, and I wonder what you think of this. So Wolves brought Benicophobe for...
I saw that, yeah.
6 million. A day later, sold him to Stoke for 12. I think it was 12, maybe less.
Something like that. That.
They made a profit and a bit on him for his sale.
Yeah.
Do you think Reading will do that with Ejaria?
I don't think we will. No.
Do you think we're not clever enough, or do you think we just wouldn't do that?
I just don't think it's the Reading way.
Do we have a way?
We used to.
Okay, so...
But I don't think we're the kind of club.
We were never going to talk about this, but I want to get onto this now. What is the Reading way now? What do you think the Reading way is now?
See, I always thought the Reading way was develop the players within the club, build them into good players, give them first team opportunities, whilst having a decent squad around them. And then once that started as a thing, 3 days later, we spent about £15 million on Puskas and Zhao. So I don't. I think we're in a very purgatory situation where who knows what is going on.
So the Reading way used to be for me when I remember growing up was you would have a couple of youth players or a couple of people that were youngsters mixed with a very experienced team. It was always the players that were dropped down from the Premier League that were coming to the end of their careers used to come in. We had Les Ferdinand, Martin Keown, and a few others that come in and really helped progress some of our players forward. I remember when
Yakubu.
I remember. Oh God, remember him. And we had Sean Gota as well at one point as well. That was amazing to have. But I remember Martin Keown come in, and our defence was really struggling before. But he worked with Igor and Gamarsin, and Sonko was the one I think was on the bench or coming through. But he worked with them, and when they played together after Keown left, then I think we had the 106 a couple of seasons later, or that.
I think it was that following season.
Yeah, we brought in players as well with Les Ferdinand, with the strikers as well, to come in and help them as well. So the Reading one.
That was the same year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think they both
Keown
played the
and
same
Ferdinand.
time. Yeah. I think the Reading way used to be youth players with experience, get them to learn the Reading way and the way to play. Then they would get in the run in the first team if they played well. If you didn't play well, you were dropped. And that's what was the hunger and the desire for when we got 106 points, was they wanted to stake their... They weren't, ability-wise, we were nowhere near as good as anyone else. Team and effort and work rate and hard work was... No one could ever deny that team that, ever. We had all of that in abundance. And what do we... The Reading way was have a bold manager, have a little bit of a direct football, and then we did well. The issue we have at the moment is we have owners that are very ambitious. And we've had a director of football, chief exec, as in Ron Gooley, that used that paycheck of the owners as, I can do whatever I want with it. And he did. And he put us into so much trouble. And we're still, was it 3 years later? 2 years later, still trying to get over what he did. I think this transfer window, I see a lot of people criticising the owners, and I see it a lot from journalists, they say that we need to hear more from the owners. We don't need to hear from the owners at all. We don't need to know him. We need to know that he cares about the club, and we know he cares about the club because he's paid for a new training ground, and he's buying players, and he's willing.
And he also inject a £40 million into the club.
Exactly. And he's also willing to block moves that makes us money. So he cares about the club, and he wants us to push forward and wants us to do more. The issue is the people that are working around him correct. So the people working around him at the moment are Kia, we've got Nigel Howe, we've got Mark Bowen, maybe other agents as well. Kia, I think, is the correct point. Hear me out. Wolves had a super agent, Ronaldo's. He was the consultant.
George Mendes.
Yeah, he was the consultant. He had a title as well for the club. He was a consultant or something. That's how they worked around it, and that's how they got the players. And what they did very clever was they went to big teams in Portugal with their academy and got the best players on the cheap because they're clever. Agents are very clever of getting what they want, but they can, if they want business in the future, they will help the club that they're helping. Kia is one of those people that I think will help the club move forward. I also saw today that it was also talked about that Reading's targets this season for transfers are going to be lower league and Portuguese players for the start of next season. And that's what Bowen and the board have agreed on, apparently. I think if we get the right players, I see people that want to criticise it all. Just be happy we got an owner that cares. So we've got 10 players leaving, 2 that might be staying. We're in talks with that Josh Lorient. We're also, I can't remember who else we're in talks with, but I think that might be it. That Portsmouth winger, I've heard we're also want him, but according to one of the reporters, that's just agent talk, just to generate business for him. What do we need in this transfer window for the next step? Not players. I think, because players we'll talk about in a separate pod coming up. We just need to...
Okay.
What type of player? As in his personality, who he is. What type of players do we need?
I could answer it with one word, and that would be passion. I think you just said about it with the 106 season. On paper, not the best players, but every single one of them cared and played for the club.
Okay,
I remember seeing on AD's podcast with James Harper, and how much was he getting paid, even in the Premier League?
Pennies.
He played for the love of the club and the love of the game, and we don't have that apart from Tom McIntyre, Gabe Osho.
You could class Reno in that.
And Reno.
Elise.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
but
I think,
one thing that you've said with all of them, academy players.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask you. is, do you think we should be playing more academies players next season? We're not going to get promotion next year. I don't think. I think this is another 2-year build for this. Do you think that we need to be playing more academy players next season? Okay, where do you find passion? For me, passion is when you're at a club and you support them.
Yeah, I could go with that as well. But I don't think you have to support them. I think it also comes with the hunger to win. And
I think that's what we need to pinpoint on.
Yeah.
Hunger to win. Passion is good, but you need that hunger. You need that extra gear. Like Moore had it the first couple of seasons, and that gear's gone. That extra.
It showed with
gear.
that third goal against Wigan, wasn't it? Where defender's gone and he's walking back.
Yeah. You've got to have that extra gear to go, no, I'm having this. I want this. You need that Roy Keane mentality. You may not support it. You may not like it, but you want to win as much as you can. And I think that's what we need. We need someone who has work rate that will go non-stop. I think we need someone who has a passion, but I think someone who's hungry. And normal hunger comes from players from the lower league because they want success and they want it now.
That's step up, isn't it?
Yeah. You look at Jamie Vardy. He had a massive step up, and look how good he's got. I'm not saying we need to sign someone like Vardy, but... You
want that player that's going to look at it and think, right, this is my chance, and I am going to bloody take it.
I think if you look at Sheffield United's recruitment, you look at their player, any player you bring in for Sheffield United plays exactly how Wilder wants it.
I'm going to be controversial here. You might not agree with me. I think give him a chance, and McNulty might show that. Because he come in from a lower league, didn't really get a chance in the first team, went out on loan, played very well on loan, comes back in. I hope he's got the mentality of, this is my chance, I'm going to take it.
Well, Bowen said he's going to give him a chance. And Bowen said that he's going to give him the opportunity to do that, which I'm in very much two minds of it. Very much two minds. I'm not against it. I'm not for it, but I'm not against it. All right, give him an opportunity. But he ain't the answer.
Read between the lines a bit as well. Could it just be a little pop at Baldock after what he said? Because at the moment, we know three strikers that are going to be at the club next season. Possibly. Yeah. Zhao will be here. Puskas will possibly be here. Baldock will be here.
If you class Mite.
Mite as well. And now McNulty. What if it's him saying, look, well, I'm going to give him a chance because I don't want to play Baldock?
It's very convenient how he got injured.
Yeah. And also it's come out now because he said the reason Adam missed out was a hamstring injury. And then Adam come out on Twitter earlier today and said it was because he tested positive for COVID. So he's lied once while saying it's not.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a very funny situation to be around at the moment with that as well. So I think I get what you're saying. So let's swiftly move on to, we've discussed what we want to see next season, but let's talk about what happened last night in the Championship, shall we? Brent, let's talk about the top half to start off with before we go down to the bottom half. Did Brentford bottle it, or did Barnsley play the game that they should have?
They bottled it. The chance was there to take it. Reason I say they bottled it, they had the same opportunity against Stoke. They had 2 games to go for it. And it was in their hands. The fact that West Brom's last 2 games, they picked up 1 point from who did they? Huddersfield and QPR. That is 2 games that if you're second in the league, you should get 6 points there.
Did you see QPR's second goal though?
No.
Oh, what a welding by Ejaria, whatever his name is. He pinpointed that beautifully in the top left-hand corner. I think I'm in two minds with it. I think Barnsley did what they needed to do, and they played the game exactly how they needed to. Well, Brentford had the opportunity the week before to do something with it, and they didn't. I see people say they didn't bottle it. The issue
They did.
The issue they have
did
now
bottle it.
is they lost 2 games in a row, or drawn one, lost 2 games in a row.
Lost 2 games in a row.
They now have to change their mentality for the playoffs, and everyone knows people who win playoffs are the people that have been winning going into the playoffs. It's very hard.
They're going to be playing against Swansea. And by no means is that going to be an easy game. Swansea have lost 1 in their last 6, and that was a 1-0 loss to Leeds, which was a 89th minute winner.
Yeah.
They're not a pushover. It's not going to be an easy game.
No.
And we've said it with Reading so many times. Once you're in that mentality of we're losing a lot, it's bloody difficult to get out of.
Exactly, and I think it's going to be interesting. I think as well. So the playoffs look like this that we could see. It's going to be Brentford versus Swansea, and it's going to be Fulham versus Cardiff. Okay, so Fulham or Cardiff? Who do you want to win?
Can I say neither of them?
Unfortunately, that's not how the playoffs work. I'm going to write this down as well, right? And then we're going to see who wins on the whenever.
Okay.
So
I think in that case, it's going to be a very, very, very tight game, or 2 games.
Okay, first leg, what's the score going to be?
To be honest, I reckon it's going to be 2 draws. Or, because it's Fulham at home, I reckon it's going to be 2-1 Fulham.
Okay. When it's at Cardiff, what?
2-1 Cardiff. It's going to go the distance, in my opinion. And Fulham will just nick it on penalties.
Okay, so pen win. Fulham. Okay, so the other one is Brentford versus Swansea.
Right, this is a difficult one for me as well, because I have said for the last 4 months, Brentford are the best team in this league. They play the best football. But it's difficult to get out of that rut that we just said about. Mm-hmm. If Brentford turn up, I can see them smashing Swansea. But it's if they turn up.
Okay, so
it's going to be another first leg. It's at Griffin Park, isn't it? First leg.
Could be. I don't know. They haven't announced anything yet.
Okay, if the first leg's at Griffin Park, I think 2-0 Brentford. 2-1 Brentford, actually. Brewster's going to score again.
Okay, so what's the second leg?
I reckon again 1-1, 2-1 Brentford.
Are you going 1-1 or 2-1?
I'll go 2-1.
2-1 Brentford. So
both,
you're saying
both legs.
They're going to win 4-2 on aggregate.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. So for me, if you see me outshot, it's because I'm trying to write. So for me, I think the first leg's going to be 0-0 between Cardiff and Fulham. And I think the second leg is going to be 1-0 Fulham.
Yeah, it's the sort of thing that
I think that's what. So Brentford v Swansea, I think it's going to be 3-1 Brentford at home. And I think it'll be 2-1 away. So Brentford will win 4-3 on aggregate. I think altogether. So that's what I'm
4-2.
4-3.
You said there.
3-1 Swansea. 3-1.
You said 3-1. 3-1.
3-1 Brentford v Swansea in the first leg, and then 2-1 Brentford. I did it the wrong way around. Oh no, 2-1 Swansea at home. So it'll be 4-3 on aggregate to Brentford. I think the home teams will win. So that's how it goes. So let's talk about relegation then. So my heart goes up for all the Wigan fans. EFL done you right over.
It's ridiculous. Last night I was so angry about it, and it doesn't affect me in the slightest.
No,
like I have no feelings at all towards Wigan.
I don't like Wigan. I don't think they should be a football team because they don't turn up and their fans are mainly rugby. But at the same time, you don't want a team to be treated like that.
It's
that's how teams
so
go out of
dodgy
business.
as well. It's so dodgy as
Exactly.
well.
And
If you haven't already, have a read of
I did.
the whole circumstances around it. I'm talking to everyone now.
Mm.
But the fact that they had a takeover, 4 weeks ago?
Yeah, it wasn't long ago.
4 weeks. No, it was like 4 weeks before the restart.
Mm.
And it's the former owner who has quite a big gambling problem allegedly. It's so corrupt. And the fact that the EFL lets this happen to so many teams, it almost happened to us with Zingarovic.
Yeah.
But not to mention Portsmouth, Blackpool, Sunderland, the list just does not end. And the fact that they let this happen, it's utterly ridiculous.
So the teams that got relegated in the bottom three were Hull, Wigan because of the points deduction, and Charlton. And Barnsley survived in the 93rd minute.
First minute.
90.
Yeah.
They scored.
I saw something on Twitter.
They were in
yesterday,
the bottom three since September
from
the 15th.
September till the 91st minute.
Yeah. Absolutely astonishing. And their manager come out after the game and did an interview and he cried. And it's nice to see a manager, and we don't see this enough in the game, I don't think, that a manager actually shows passion. They're always very still-faced after a loss or a win, or they never show emotion. And that's the one thing I think that bringing away from it is brilliant. So Charlton went down, who apparently got promoted in August. They went down on 48. Wigan went down on 47, and Hull, who were 3 points off the playoffs in September or October time, are now relegated.
I think it was Christmas.
Could have been.
I'm sure I saw something about them at Christmas.
So Birmingham were 2 points off the bottom, with Luton, who won their final game, who survived as well. Reading finished their season on 14th. On 56 points. So
this could all change though if Wigan do lodge the appeal.
I think they're going
get it overturned. But
I think they're going to, and I think they should do something like that. But if they don't, then at least they gave it a shout. At least they gave it a go, and they did the best they can to do that. Birmingham have announced today that they have retired the number 22 shirt. For Jude Bellingham or Judge Bellingham, however you want to say it, after playing 44 times for the club. No, I do actually mean that. He's only played 44 times for the club. Not 444, 44, because he's going to Dortmund.
Club legend.
That's like retiring the number 13. I tweeted this as well. That's like retiring the number 13 shirt for Reading because he hasn't turned up. But I don't know. I think it's
sorry, just going back to you saying about Hull. They've won one game this year, and that was a couple of. No, they drew 1-1 with us, didn't they? But it was against Middlesbrough. They beat Middlesbrough 2-1 on the 2nd of July, so not too long ago.
Oh, wow. They beat Middlesbrough?
Yeah.
Dear God, that's probably why Southgate got sacked. Probably.
What?
Didn't Jonathan... Oh, no, not Southgate. Woodgate.
Woodgate,
yeah.
Yeah.
Woodgate got sacked, didn't he? And then that Bellin come in, Neil Warnock. So, yeah, so that's how we feel. If we could sum up the championship in one word. Okay, 2 words. Bloody hell. Jesus Christ. Great balls of fire.
I'd do it in 5 words.
Yeah.
Best league in the world. Most competitive league in the world.
I'll say that. Most competitive. I get that. Because you don't. If you win the championship, you don't go in the Champions League. So I think most competitive, yes. Best league, no. Premier League is the best league, in my opinion. So, interesting. So, we're just going to finish off here just by a couple of things that we're going to talk about. just to let you guys be informed about what's going forward and what we're going to be doing. So moving forward, there is going to be a person joining the pod. I am in talks with this person to try and get this person on a regular basis. We will be releasing a promo video for this person joining. It will be released in stages to get you guys try and see if you guys can guess who it could be. It's going to be.
Are we going to give them? Are we going to give them a clue now?
No,
or
I
wait?
I don't want to.
Okay, we'll wait. We'll wait.
I'm going to be an arsehole. So I'll give you a clue. He's very well known in the Reading community. That's it. That's the clue. He's gonna come on, and we're in talks to make it a regular thing. We're also in talks, just maybe for a certain amount of time, but he will be on making multiple appearances. He's already seen the hype video and absolutely loves it. Ryan has seen it. It's interesting. Let's put it that way. It's a bit of fun that we're going to start bringing to the pod, and what we're going to be doing. So when that announces, we're going to have a lot more different things to talk about and going forward. And the other last thing that we want to talk about is what's coming up on the pod and what we're going to be doing. So during the next 4 weeks till the start of next season, we will be doing different games to play with you guys and play against ourselves. We will be doing different things to try and interact with you guys as well. We will be running a competition. It may not be for anything significant, but we just want to get you guys on board, learning about us. We're going to do a pod as well, just to talk about ourselves, so you guys can just to get to know us. So we're just not someone you listen to or watch. You get to know why I hate McCleary as much as I do, or I like this certain player more than others, or I'm a dickhead for a reason, or why I like wrestling. I love wrestling. So we're going to be talking a lot more Reading. We're going to be releasing it. We're going to start doing it regularly on a Tuesday and a Friday, if that's okay with Ryan. Because we're going to film it the day before, so we have enough time to get all of it uploaded and the artwork done. The artwork looks exactly the same every time, just a different number. But I want to make it consistent to the page and make the page look good. So, yeah, we've got a lot coming up. We don't want to give away too much because we want you guys to come back and join. We want more of you to come. We would like you as well, if you can, please don't smack yourself in the face. We would like you as well to please like, share, comment as much as you can. So the more people that like it, the more people that comment on it, the more people that will see it. We just need you to do this at the time being until we can get enough people to do it on a regular basis, just to come in and have a fun. We also want the comment section as well to be a bit of fun as well. So please comment in there as well. We want to interact as much as we can with you guys as well. On the description down below as well is all of our Twitter pages. We have a Discord channel as well that was set up by Ryan, which I've got a link for you guys to go and set up in there as well. We've got a Facebook page, Instagram. We've got a TikTok account as well. That we haven't done much on, but we're going to start doing a little bit of fun on as well, just to get you guys interacting. We're also going to be doing live streams on YouTube, so we can get everyone involved. We're going to do live. We also, after every game as well, I will be going live on Twitter to get your feedback and your thoughts about the game. And I will try and start using Instagram Live a little bit more, but I don't know how to do it because I'm old and trying to learn it. So we're going to be doing a lot more stuff on social media with you guys as well in the next few weeks. We just want you guys to help us out just for the time being until we can get the fan base. If a fan base of people watching, or you lovely people, help us out. So thank you ever so much for listening to the pod. I think I've talked 90% of the time, so I do apologize to you listeners out there today. But it's going to be interesting. We've got playoffs coming up. We've got the FA Cup final coming up. We've got the final of the Premier League coming up as well. See who gets relegated, who's going to be with us next season, who's going to get in the top 4. It's going to be exciting. Go on.
One thing I'm going to ask, who do you want to come down? Obviously, Norwich are down already.
Who do I personally think I want down, or who do I think will be down?
Both.
Okay, personally, I want West Ham and I want Bournemouth.
Okay.
Personally, because I want to go to West Ham Stadium.
Yeah.
Basically it. And I hate West Ham. And the other Bournemouth is because I've never been to Bournemouth Stadium, but I want to go. It's basically personal preference. I just want to go to both of them. Who do I think will go down? Watford.
Yeah. Bournemouth.
Yeah. I don't want Bournemouth to go down though, because I really like Eddie Howe.
Either way,
I
don't think he will be Bournemouth manager next season.
No, I hope a Prem team comes and picks him up, or he goes abroad, or does something to go and do something different. But I think it will be Watford, because I think they got Arsenal. They ain't gonna. Well, unless it's the Arsenal that turned up against Aston Villa, then Watford might have a chance. But if it's the Arsenal that turned up against Liverpool and Man City, then I think they don't have a chance. So who do you want to...
I've got on the last game? Everton. I'm just looking at the table with goal difference.
Everton have been hit and miss. I don't think they won a game since the restart.
See, if Villa and Watford both get beat, even 1-0, and Bournemouth win 1-0, Bournemouth will stay up.
Oh, I want Villa to go down. Personal opinion, I want Villa down.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want Villa down. I hate them. Sorry, Villa fans.
Okay.
None of you are going to be watching, but don't like you.
My preference, I want Bournemouth to come down. Same reason as you. I've never been, and I want to go. And I'd rather go with Reading than with something neutral.
We could make a vlog.
And the other one I want down is Villa, because I don't like them.
We'll make a vlog out of that. That's just a waste of breathing space. So it's going to be interesting. We'll talk a bit more about the Premiership as well. We're going to vary up the pods from now on until the season starts. Formula One's back, so we'll talk a little bit more about Formula One. Good old Lewis is smashing it. Good lad. Lando Norris, absolute legend so far. Ferrari should have signed him instead of Sainz, but hey-ho. I love Lando Norris. And McLaren look better than Ferrari anyway. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But thank you guys ever so much for joining us again. We've got a few more subscribers that are coming on as well, which is brilliant. We've got a lot more views. That we're not getting the same amount as the first pod, but we're still consistently getting quite a few views. So that's amazing. We are also now on, it's been announced today. I say announced, it's not a club. We've also got told today we are now going to be on Alexa. So if you're sitting in the kitchen or doing something and you just want to hear this beautiful tone of voice in your ear, then you can, and it will now go straight onto the pod. We are now on Apple Music, Google Play, and Spotify. We're looking into why they're taking so blimmin' long. But we're getting there with more platforms than other Reading pods. Or pod, because I like being the BBC Sounds with Ailey Williams. I'd love to have him on. He's cracking lad, an absolute legend. Shame about the other pod.
Tyler Stend.
Huh?
Tyler Stend.
Oh, that's a good pod. Adam, genius. That's a good pod. It's just the other one. Anyway, before I lost.
Don't know of any other one.
No, I just smell shit. So thank you ever so much for watching. Thank you ever so much for turning up and listening. Please like, share, do all that good stuff. I look forward to hearing from you. Peace.
Bye.